It's Miss Kia J here. It is mommy time, but it's not the same mommy time as usual. Today's a little different. Normally I would be relaxing, locking myself in the bathroom, but today, since I am so obsessed with the differences and the pros and cons between retie versus palm rolling, we're going to take Charlie here. Say hey.
Hi.
We're going to take my son Charlie, and we are going to do half of his hair as a palm roll, the other half as a retie, so that you guys can kind of see the difference, because I learned some differences. We'll talk about them, but welcome back to Mommy Time. Welcome, LOC'D Nation. And we're going to do something a little different, but stay tuned so you can see exactly how Charlie's hair turns out, and maybe you can decide which option is best for you and when. So stay tuned. Here we go. Alright guys, so for starters, I'll try to put the links in the bottom. You just have to give me a while. We're going to still use the same thing I did for mine, the Jamaican mango and lime locking wax. We're going to half and half it with Murray's beeswax. For the edges, when we get there, we'll use a little edge control. We've got our clips, of course, and we've got our retie needle. And I don't really have to split his a lot, but just in case, we've got our shears. So to make it easier for me, as you saw in my last video, if you haven't watched it, I am a micro LOC'D do-it-yourselfer, and I started retying, but I wanted to palm roll for the first time at the 4-month mark. I loved it, but this is not even a week later, and it's already not... I have sweated it out. I've been sick. I'm actually still sick, but I don't think I'm contagious. So the first thing I'm going to do, guys, is separate the section of hair that I'm not going to be working with. Charlie has a book in his hand. I will let him tell you and show you what book it is. You got to tell him what book it is.
Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit.
Awesome. And Charlie is in the 3rd grade, but he's at a reading level of R, which is somewhere in the 4th grade, beginning of 5th. So we try to pick books for him that help his reading level. But today, because we're doing this on a school night, we're going to also do a little bit of homework, and we're going to post this video to my channel for the LOC'D Nation and for the mommies, but we'll also post a version of this video. Don't worry, mommies, I'm going to fast forward through the reading. We're going to post a version of this video on his channel for kids so that they can get a synopsis of the book, and also just some good tips on reading. So Charlie, tell them about your channel and your YouTube information, and we'll put the info below. So if you have a little one, mommy, subscribe. Have your sons and daughters subscribe and help Charlie get his subscribers up. You want to tell them about your channel, or you gonna be camera shot?
So
look at the camera.
At Charlie Torrance, I have a merch store, www.charlietorrance.com. I post gaming content, I do some guitar content, and I just do a bunch of video games and guitar, and really that's it.
Awesome. So guys, we're going to start on this side that's closest to you, palm rolling. I'm going to fast forward a little bit for the mommies, but me and Charlie are going to start reading. He couldn't get into this book because he said he didn't understand it, so I'm going to actually start reading to him. And guys, as parents, I encourage you mommies, even if your child is a great reader, to still sit down sometimes and read to them. Read with them, or take turns to help build their confidence. They need to hear your inflection and how you read. And if you're not a good reader, you'd be surprised how it will help you if you go back and read some children's novels. But this is a chapter book. It is for grades 4 through 5. Lexile levels anywhere from L through O, I believe. Don't quote me on that. So let's start our palm rolling. Let's get halfway done and see how we do. So guys, the short of it is I'm definitely going to monitor Charlie's hair over the next 2 weeks, but if you go back and watch my last video about palm rolling, I realized that with working out day-to-day activities, even though it looks great when it's done and it's super fast, it doesn't hold as long as retying my hair. The new growth will pop back in within a week, if not sooner than that, and I wish I had interlocked it now. It just took the time. So I'll probably interchange these two, just depending on whether I want a quick look or whether I want to not have to retie my hair for a while. So stay tuned. If there's any updates on my preference of the two, I will let you know. But in the meantime, I'm going to switch back and forth between retying my hair and then palm rolling it when I want a new, fresh, refined look.